There are different ways through which molecules will go from the extracellular space into the intracellular space. And these techniques include, for instance, passive diffusion, where molecules will go from area of high concentration to area of low concentration. And passive diffusion is divided into two types. Simple diffusion, where the molecules simply diffuse across the plasma membrane, or facilitated diffusion, where there is a plasma protein that acts as a channel and facilitate the diffusion of molecules, again from area of high concentration to area of low concentration. With active transport, on the other hand, there is a membrane protein that uses the ATP or energy in order to transport from area of low concentration to area of high concentration. And thus, active transport is energy dependent, while passive diffusion is energy independent. So here I have a graph of the active as well as passive diffusion. So here we have the passive diffusion, which divides into simple and facilitated. With the simple, the concentration keeps on increasing, so these are the intracellular concentration, keeps on increasing until it eventually becomes equal to the extracellular concentration, and then it stops there. With the facilitated diffusion, same process happens. Concentration keeps on increasing until it reaches the extracellular concentration, and then it stops there. So the difference between facilitated and simple is that with facilitated, there is a protein that will increase the speed of diffusion. And so therefore, with the facilitated diffusion, the concentration of the intracellular space will reach that of the extracellular at a faster speed. And then likewise with the active transport, which is ATP dependent, it's also at a faster rate because there is a membrane channel that will transfer the molecules. But then, since it uses ATP, it can increase the concentration beyond the extracellular concentration. So in fact, it can move it from area of low concentration to area of high concentration. And so as you can see, the intracellular concentration can become more than the extracellular concentration. So here you can see that the intracellular concentration has gone beyond the extracellular concentration. And then the last point I would like to mention here is that with the simple diffusion, since there is only diffusion across the plasma membrane, as you increase the extracellular concentration, therefore the rate of the influx will also increase. However, with both the active and facilitated diffusion, since they are dependent on some transport proteins, therefore they are going at a faster rate, but then these proteins can become saturated, and thus they would eventually reach a plateau. And then there we go. So we have reached a maximum speed, which doesn't increase anymore because we've already used all the available proteins. And that concludes the discussion of different modes of molecule transport across the plasma membrane.